of a contentious situation that they've encountered over the weekend. I'm sure someone's going to know something.
I have a 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah, enough said, 16-year-old daughter. She leaves the dishes in the sink.
She cries.
And she cries.
I talk to her.
So you have to figure out how to handle that calmly and effectively. I had a situation when I went to Denver a few weeks ago where the rental car company kept screwing up my rental agreement, and so I'd take it to the gate to get out, and the gate agent's like, no, it's not the right VIN number. So I had to go back, and they crossed out the color of the car and put the correct color of the car, but didn't change the VIN number. It took me 3 times to get out of that garage. Things like that happen all the time. And the example we'll be using today about the summer concerts I thought was very apropos, because I'm assuming that we all love going to the summer concerts, and I'm assuming we've all run into problems with people who are just a little too full of themselves to realize that their actions are impeding others from having a good time. We had a situation where we put blankets out at a concert at the Canyons a few years ago, and there was actually plenty of room, but the people behind us started yelling at us because they said, we've been there all day long holding these seats and you can't sit in front of us. So we calmly replied, okay, well, we'll just sit behind you and sing. So there's all sorts of situations where learning how to assert yourself effectively can really benefit your own mental well-being, as well as maybe help the other person realize that they need to change their habits a little bit. Some of the things you want to think about is you need to be direct. Don't wait for a day, a week, a month to handle a situation. If it's, for instance, with your daughter or a coworker, be direct and be assertive when the moment happens so that you can address it right away. But you want to make sure that you're calm. You want to make sure that you're being patient. You don't want to yell, because that just puts the person on the defensive, and that's not going to solve any problems. It's just going to cause the situation to escalate. So I promised you that I would give you 4 tips to learn how to assert yourself effectively. Thank you for turning off your phone. That was your phone?
That was not my phone.
That was not your phone?
I was checking my phone the second time to make sure it was on.
I'm asserting myself effectively.
Wonderful. Me too.
There's a guilty party right there,
The guilty party. The first step in asserting yourself effectively is to state the problem. Chris, would you please turn off your phone? The problem is Chris's phone. Chris, would you mind turning off your phone? The second problem, or the second thing that you have to do, is to tell your feelings. Because the person may not know that what's happening is bothering other people. You may be working with someone and at their desk, and they're just constantly drumming their fingers and drives you crazy. But they don't know they're doing it because it's a habit. And maybe it helps them concentrate. But if you point it out to them and say, would you please stop drumming your fingers because it really is annoying and really bothers my concentration, all of a sudden they think, oh wow, I didn't know I was doing that. So make sure that you tell your feelings about why the action is bothering you. It prevents you from concentrating, it prevents you from hearing the speaker, it prevents you from being able to enjoy the movie, whatever it is that's affecting you. Make sure you let them know that. Then the third thing is to specify a solution. What the solution could simply be, please turn off your phone. Or the solution could be, could you please not drum your finger? Or could you please move? Could you please take down that sign at the football game so I can see the game, and instead of you holding the sign in front of me in the bleachers? So make sure that you specify a solution. You can say, you can raise it whenever the play is over so that people can still see your sign, but please don't have the poster up whenever the play is happening. And then describe the positive consequences for having the individual do what you want them to do. The positive, not the negative. The positive. We'll all be able to enjoy the movie more. I'll be able to get my work done and our boss will be happy. I'll be nicer to you. Don't talk about negative consequences, because again, that just brings up more contention. Now these 4 steps are not going to guarantee that they're not going to guarantee that you're going to solve the problem, but at least you can constructively you can constructively address the individual and the situation and try to create some sort of a remedy. So Jan and I are going to role play. It's nice to have Jan back, and we already put her back in the driver's seat. We are at a concert at Deer Valley, Canyons, New Park, take your pick. And I have laid out my blanket, and I've got an area here, and my friends are coming, so I'm sitting here waiting for my friends. And there's about 6 or 8 inches of grass in front of me, and Jan comes and lays her blanket out and scoots my blanket back. How many have had that happen? Oh. And so I'm going to practice being assertive with her and asking her, well, hi. Oh, hi there. Hi. You know, I noticed you put your blanket down, but you've actually scooted my blanket back, and I've got some friends that are coming, and I've been saving this place for my friends. And so when you put the blanket back, you've taken away a lot of the space that I've been saving for my friends. Would you mind moving your blanket, please?
Where do you think I'm gonna move it?
Well, there's lots of space. You know, I can help you move your stuff. There's some space over here.
I want to be in front here.
We can find you another spot, but there's really not enough room for you to put your blanket here. And I've been saving this spot, but I'm happy to help you find another spot.
Huh. Well, you know, I sat here because I wanted to get my picture on that postcard that they sent out, like the one that you and your friend, you know? Remember that?
I do.
So I'd like to sit here.
But we had no idea that was happening until
Yeah,
we
but
got
you're
to
taller.
the mail.
You're taller than I am. You know, why can't I sit here? I'm shorter.
No, I understand it. I'm happy to help you find another spot. But it's not so much that you're shorter than we are, but I have this space reserved for my friends that are coming out from Salt Lake for the concert. So I would really appreciate it if you would move your blanket, and I'm more than happy to help you.
Why don't you move yours?
Well, because I've been here for an hour waiting for the concert to start so that I could save a spot.
I'm older than you.
And I'm sorry about that. And you don't look it. And I'm sure you're going to be advancing. So, you know, and I noticed that you've got your cane too. There's a handicap section down in front that I can help you move your stuff in. Then you'll be way in front. You have a much better view of the concert. And I'm sure that they'll have no problem with you. Because, you know, after, I noticed your ankle and you've got your crutch. Why don't we do that? I can help you move.
Show me where that would be.
It's on the right side of the stage, just to the right of the center. So you're right up in front. You can see there's ropes over there where it's...
I have to get my bottle out of the car, too.
Well, I can help you get your bottle out of the car.
Oh, you would?
I would if you give me a shot.
Oh. That's a deal. Okay.
Jan warned me she'd be pulling the bad ankle card on me. So can we have some feedback about the process and what you noticed during the conversation, what ideas came up, what suggestions you have? Chris.
I noticed here and in other situations that I've been in that are contentious is that you have to persevere a little bit through everyone sort of standing their ground and being assertive. Like, I was here, I wanted to be here, it's my trail, I have right of way. To persevere a little bit through that, which means to kind of take on rudeness, or maybe even, it feels rude, but assertiveness from the other person, and assert yourself until you can reach this sort of calming plateau of assertiveness.
Right. And what you said is correct. Sometimes you have to keep repeating what the problem is, and you have to persevere. You can't just say once, this is what's bothering me, and then ignore it. But sometimes you do have to give in.
That was my first reaction. It's much faster to get angry right away.
It is faster. But how much more productive is that? Not very. So for instance, with your daughter, Judy, how effective would it be for you to say, oh, just stop, you're crying, I'm so tired of it?
Not at all.
That would not be right. So, and I have a hard time being assertive. I have a hard time with standing my ground. I'm trying to do it over the phone right now because I'm in an argument with Google because they have charged me for an ad that I did not run, and now they've suspended my account, which means I can't run more ads, and I'm so angry, and I'm trying to be direct, I'm trying to be calm, I'm trying to persevere, but it's difficult. So I'm going to use these 4 steps that I've learned so that I can try to remedy the situation and get out of it what I want. My account's unsuspended. Does anybody else have any comments? Annette?
I think those are 2 really different situations. One, the person that's the perpetrator is right in front of you, versus Google, where the person you're talking to isn't at fault.
They're in India.
Yeah.
Right.
And you've got to think or address this differently, I think.
Right. And you can also pull in the big guns. If you need to call a manager, if you need to call your boss in, if you need to call security in, that's another option, but you really want to wait and take advantage of those resources as a last ditch effort. Does anybody get the bill?
I had a situation in Des Moines. We went to see Phantom of the Opera. The man behind me sang every song through the first half of the show.
Oh, man.
And at intermission, I turned around and I said, "Sir, would you mind not singing anymore? Because I do enjoy the songs, as you do, but I'd rather you don't sing." And he said, "Well, I've been to the show 17 times and I know all the words." And I said, "Yeah, but I'm here to listen to them sing,
right,
and not you." And he was actually nice enough at that point to be quiet.
Good.
And the lady on my right said, "Thank God."
And thank you all for listening. I appreciate it, and take advantage of these 4 steps to learn how to assert yourself effectively at the next concert. John?